Hello everybody! It is great to see you and be with you here. This time together is totally for you. You've made the leap to sign up for the 15-week Dream Academy course, or maybe you're on the fence and this video will help you decide if it's right for you right now. With the decision to take this journey, what you can know is that this 15-week course will totally transform your life if you bring all of you, if you give yourself totally. So let's talk about how you got here. TDA doesn't do any advertising, and the only way you can get into this course is through invitation from a graduate. So one of our graduates who knows you or who knows of you thought this would be right for you in this moment. They believed in you, they extended the invitation, and you said yes. So thank you for saying yes. Thank you for saying yes for this incredible journey. You signed up for a leadership course that will ask more of you, I guarantee this, than any course you've ever taken. You signed up for a course where you'll have an opportunity to face your regrets, your fears, everything that's happened in your life that you may have spent a lot of time running from or avoiding. In this course, we're going to go after and find and transform everything that's kept you small, everything that's kept a ceiling on the possibility of your life. This is a process that transforms shame into strength. Everything that we thought was wrong with us, or bad about us, or didn't work about us, we actually discover is a unique strength that we bring. It's a course that transforms pain, all the places in our life that have been the most difficult, the most hard for us, into compassion and self-love. As we look back on those experiences, we see that they developed our empathy, they developed our love, they developed our understanding of what it means to be hurt, what it means to lose, what it means to get through the most difficult of experiences. This process and the work we'll begin today looks at your whole life, everything you've experienced, because it's all stored right here in your body as a source of wisdom and strength and guidance. And the work we'll do together helps us begin to listen and use that guidance, use that wisdom as our compass as we start to navigate into the future that we want to create. Not the one that life and our past was pushing us towards, but the one that we want to create for ourselves, our own destiny, through our own dreams, through our own fulfillment of our true purpose. We use a simple 3-step process, which I'm going to share with you later in this time together after we do some work to go inside. But there's some very practical things, not always easy things, but some very practical things that will allow you to get the most out of this course and are really essential to doing the difficult work we have ahead. The first, commit to every class. So you've got your schedule, it's 15 weeks, carve that time out, find a quiet place for yourself, make sure you have data, and come, camera on, ready to participate. We know life happens, but schedule this time for you because you're going to need it. This is deep work, and the work we do in each session builds on the next session. It's a process. So be here, camera on, ready to start, and make every class. Do the exercises in the pre-course videos. Each week, we'll be sending you a video much like this one that will ask you questions and have you do internal work so that you are 100% prepared to jump in and take full advantage of the time we have together in person on the Zoom calls. So the Zoom calls will be like a big virtual room where everyone gets to share. And the reason we do the pre-course videos and the reason we ask you to do that work is so that we can have as much time together as possible. The least amount of me talking and the most amount of you talking. So I'll talk a lot in these videos, and it'll be your time to share when we meet in person. The last thing is be open to change. Be open to looking at what you've believed before, looking at where you've stopped before, and be open to looking at things differently, experiencing things that you haven't experienced before, like trust, like connection, like really believing that the possibilities for you are unlimited, like unlearning the lies that you were told, that you were bad or wrong, or something about you needed to change, or you weren't enough. We're going to be learning, and we're going to be unlearning. And it's all going to be generated by you. We have an amazing team of graduate leaders, people who are sitting in the same seat that you're sitting today. A little bit nervous, a little bit apprehensive, and wondering, what is this thing I signed up for? Did I do the right thing? They took the leap of faith, just like you are. And they'll be sharing with you how their lives have transformed, and they'll be leading you through these processes, leading you through these experiences. Our whole team of facilitators is going to be with you the whole time to support you. And your community engagement managers, the people that helped you come into this course, that are in your area or country, they'll be reaching out to you every week to check in and see how you're doing. Now, what we know about leaders throughout history, the best of leaders and the worst of leaders, is that they all had a vision. They had a vision that was bigger than any obstacle, that was bigger than any resistance, that was bigger than anything anybody outside could tell them, that compelled them forward, that drove them forward. Today, we're going to start to develop the seeds of your own personal vision. So when we're in this virtual space, when we're having this conversation together, there's going to be a lot of me asking you questions and you reflecting on these questions and writing down your answers. So for that, you're going to need a pen and paper, or you can use your device. You can open an email, a messaging app, or anything where you can note down your answers. But you want it to be super easy, and you want to have that right beside you. So we'll take a break now, and if you don't have a pen and paper or your device open, go ahead and do that now. So as I said, the purpose of asking questions is to bring your wisdom and guidance to the surface and start to use that as your compass for going forward. To start to use your own wisdom and guidance from the inside, from your heart, from your belly, from your body, to move you into your dreams. And what we know is that most of us didn't get asked questions. We got told how to act, how to be, what was expected of us. But nobody asked us, what's most important to you? What are you passionate about? What is your purpose on this earth? What are the gifts that you want to bring forward? How could you express them more? These are not questions that most of us got. In fact, most of us are even not accustomed to being asked. So we're going to start today by asking some of those basic questions and just getting comfortable with checking inside for the answers. So many of us have been taught from the time we were tiny babies to get our answers from outside. We would ask our parents, we would ask our teachers, we would ask the authorities, we would look to see what other people were doing. This course is really about becoming self-referencing. What does it mean to be self-referencing? It means when the rest of the world is preaching hate, when the rest of the world is preaching separation, when the rest of the world is chasing cars and houses and status, you get to look inside and see what's right for you. Every great human rights leader every great change maker got tremendous resistance. They got tremendous pushback. They got threats. They had to risk status. They had to risk belonging in their community. And how they did that was that their guide was not how many people are liking me, how many people are agreeing with me, but it was their own self-referencing commitment to the change they wanted to make. So what we'll be developing in this course for each of us is that internal guide, that ability to listen and to look to yourself for guidance, to look to yourself for wisdom, to look to yourself for what is most right for you, to look to yourself to find what you're doing here in this life. What's your purpose? What's your destiny? So as I shared with you before, part of the work that we do here in these virtual sessions and in our in-person sessions will be asking questions and then talking about what's going on inside of us. And part of the work will be establishing that connection I was just speaking about to our inner world. And to do that, we have to go inside, because we don't often have a lot of practice of just listening to our own body, remembering that all of our experiences from the moment we came onto this planet are stored here in our body. So let's taste what that's like. If you're willing, let your feet be on the ground. Let your eyes gently close. I'm going to cast my eyes down so I'm not looking right at you. And we're going to drop inside. So just to start to notice your breathing. What is the quality of your breathing? Are you breathing into your chest? Are you breathing all the way into your belly? How does it feel to just sit and experiencing the breath going in and out of your body? I'm just allowing that breath to deepen. And if you're willing to put a hand on your belly, and just feel the breath going in and out of your body. Feeling your feet on the floor, feeling your body making contact with wherever you're sitting. And then placing your other hand, one hand on your belly and your other hand on your heart. Just placing it there really softly. And just seeing if you can invite your heart to soften just a little bit. Just a little bit, like you're just softly rubbing on your heart and just inviting it to soften. And noticing if there's any emotions present. So often as we hurry through our day, as we do all the things we have to do, as we brace against all the circumstances in our life, we're having so many feelings that are just below the surface. And often as we drop inside, all those feelings are right there. Feelings of anxiety, feelings of restlessness, maybe traces of fear, traces of sadness, or even anger, just right below the surface. Notice what's in your heart today. What's there right now. As you keep breathing into your belly, feeling your feet on the floor and your body in the chair, just letting whatever emotions are present have some room. Have some room to be felt and noticed. We spend so much time running from feelings that we think will overwhelm us. But this is your time to just actually check in and see what's there. What am I really feeling? Usually some mixture, right? It's not one thing. It's not just fear. It's not just sadness. It might be anxiousness and a little fear, and then some grief, some unexpressed grief, or some disappointment. There may be joy, there may be excitement. It's usually a mix. Just breathing and letting yourself feel what's in your heart in this moment. And as you feel what's in your heart, allowing yourself to remember that this same body that you're breathing into, that's sitting in this chair, was a baby in somebody's arms. This is the same body that crawled and took its first steps. It's the same body that uttered its first words. The same body that looked to those big people to learn how to be a little human, how to navigate this world. It's the same body that looked outside to understand what behavior, what feelings, what kinds of expressions pleased or disappointed the people that we were totally dependent on, the people that we needed to take care of us. What did they want from us? How did they want us to be? We looked out to find out. And as you imagine that little child growing from a tiny baby to a toddler, to a young kid, to a teenager, to the person you are today, feeling every conversation, every argument, everything you've ever seen, felt, or touched is stored in this body, in your arms, in your legs, in your chest, in your neck, in your pelvis, in your feet. Everything that you've experienced is stored in this body. Throughout your whole life, your most tender moments and the most painful, traumatic, and challenging experience, all stored in your body. All right here. Waiting to be felt, waiting to be seen, waiting to be transformed into the wisdom that guides you forward. And as you just continue to breathe and allow yourself to experience all you've been through in this amazing life journey that only you really know about. You're the one who knows every moment, everything that you felt inside and out that has brought you to this moment, sitting where you're sitting today. And as a thought experiment, what if every single thing you've experienced in your lifetime, everything, was part of a perfect formula, a perfect plan for your ultimate purpose, for your destiny, for the reason you came into this lifetime? What if nothing was a mistake? A collection of experiences that you need, every one of them, to become the person you came into this lifetime to be. What if there was nothing wrong with you at all? What if nothing was ever wrong with you? What if you were 100% perfect, just as you are, even as a work in progress, even as we still grow and change and open? And with this thought experiment, with this vision of you inside of your perfectly designed master plan, what is the ultimate destiny of your life? What are you being pulled towards? Where is all this going? Where is your life taking you? No matter what your current circumstances, who are you being pulled to become? From the inside, who are you being pulled to become? There's no need to find any concrete answers or come up with any conclusions. We're just beginning to be comfortable with being in these big questions. We're starting to feel the pathway of our life as a whole journey with no mistakes, taking us to our true purpose. And again, for most of us, for most of our lives, it's not been safe to ask questions like, who am I? What do I really want? What is my purpose on this earth? So let's take these last few moments spending time, you with you, inside of your own body, listening to your own body, feeling the lifelong journey you have been in. And let's see if you can feel just a little more safe to start to ask these very big questions. Just a little more space to feel what you're feeling. And as you feel just a little more safe and just a little more space, let's end this interior time by thanking this body. There are lots of bodies that you have loved and that you know of that didn't make it to this moment, that may not still be on this earth. You did. Something inside of you carried you forward through the most painful, through the most difficult times. This body has never left you. This body will be with you till your last breath. Thanking this body for always being there. Thanking his body for the wisdom and the guidance it's going to give you throughout this course and throughout your life. And sealing that thank you up with that hand on your heart and letting your eyes gently open. All right, so we are on the journey. Thank you for being willing to go inside and start to listen to the answers from your body. Start to become comfortable feeling what feelings are in your body. And just noticing how it feels to go inside. So, as promised, the next part of what we'll do is starting to experience what we just learned, what we just experienced of going in the body as a tool to listen for answers. So I'm going to ask you some questions. So make sure you have your pen and paper or your device nearby. There are no wrong answers. You don't need to understand your answers. Just trust what comes. And each time I ask a question, there'll be a slide with that question in front of you, and there'll be a timer. If you want to take more time than the timer allows, just press pause on your video and continue when you're ready. So we're going to give you some time with each question, and if you feel stuck, my invitation is just keep writing anyway. Again, what you write down doesn't have to make sense to you or anyone else. The idea, the work that we're doing, is we're just starting to access our inner wisdom. We're starting to make that connection. So you know the saying, fake it till you make it. Sometimes you may be writing and nothing's making sense, or it feels like nothing's connecting. Just keep writing and see what comes. And the first question is, what is the biggest lie you've been told about yourself from one person, a group, the culture, or multiple people that you believed, that some part of you believed? What is the biggest lie you've been told about yourself? Maybe it was that you couldn't do something, you'd never be loved, you weren't right. Whatever that lie is, what's the biggest lie you've been told about yourself that some part of you believed? Write it down now. Great job. You answered your first question. The next question is, what is the quality, trait, or belief that has gotten you through the hardest of times? So maybe it's your tenacity, maybe it's your creativity, maybe it's your resilience, maybe it's, I don't know what it is in you, but what is the quality, trait, or belief? Maybe it's the belief that there's a brighter future ahead that's gotten you through the hardest of times. Write it down now. Great job. Now a really simple, but also profound question. What is most important to you? What is most important to you? Write down whatever comes. Great job. And another big question. If all of your life experiences were preparing you for a particular purpose, what is that purpose? If all of your life experiences were preparing you for a particular purpose, what is that purpose? Write it down. You're doing great. Just a couple more. This one's a little lighter. When do you feel the most joy and fulfillment? When do you feel the most joy and fulfillment? And if you feel a block to this question, go a little deeper, because a lot of I never feel joy and fulfillment. When do you feel the most joy and fulfillment? Write down whatever comes and keep writing at least till the end of the timer, and stop the timer and keep going if there's more. And the last question for our time together: if you could have things exactly as you want them, what would your life look and feel like? If you could have things just exactly as you want them, what would your life look and feel like? Again, write at least to the time at the end of the timer, and if you want to take more time, just press pause and keep writing. So take some time. It may seem like you've just answered a few questions, but you've done some profound work. And let those answers land. Feel free to read over your answers and find them in your body. And just give yourself some extra thanks. You've done some really great beginning work, and you started on the seeds of your vision. As we embark on this 15-week journey together, and I can't wait to meet you in person. I'm feeling more and more excited every second. We're going to have a lot of experiences. We're going to have a lot of conversations. But there's going to be a 3-step process that runs throughout all of those conversations and experiences. And I want to outline that process now, just so you have that process kind of in your mind and also in your body. So the first step of the 3-step process is to question and shift beliefs and your overall perspective about yourself and the world. To question and shift beliefs about your overall perspective on yourself and the world. So we come into this world and we adopt the beliefs of the larger culture. We adopt the beliefs of our parents. We adopt the beliefs of our family. We adopt the beliefs of our community. And those beliefs about who we are, what's possible for us, what we can achieve, what's right or wrong with us, how we should behave, how we should act, how we should talk, how we should think. The first process is starting to really unlearn some of those limiting beliefs and to open all of those beliefs to question. So we start to look at our basic assumptions about life and ourselves, from relationships to how we move in the world, to how we speak and treat ourselves. All of those come from the beliefs that culminate in our perspective. They come together as our perspective on ourselves and the world. So the first step is to question all of those things. So as we question those things, we're going to form new beliefs. We're going to expand our horizons on what is possible for us. We're going to adopt new beliefs and new attitudes and new ways that we hold ourselves. We're going to have a different mindset, a mindset that doesn't stop us, that allows us to move forward, that allows us to trust, that allows us to receive support, that allows us to connect, that allows us to access our wisdom. So the next step, step 2, is taking those new insights, that new perspective, that new mindset into the body. And to do that, we have to feel what we haven't been willing to feel, which means releasing old trauma, which means releasing regret, sadness, grief, all the things that are in our body, all the things that have happened to us. It means letting our body tell its story so that all of these new beliefs, because we're not just a head, come down into the body. It's like we're reprogramming a whole system, and it starts with the head, and then it starts to move into the body as we start to become the person that we actually are, that got frozen by all these painful experiences, that got covered over by other people and the larger culture telling us who we are and what's possible for us. So as the change, the shift, the expansion happens in our mind, it comes down into our bodies. Of course, the next step is to bring it into our lives, to change our habits, to change our relationships, to change the way we move in the world, to start to achieve things in the world that we didn't think were possible before, to start to speak and be seen in a way that we didn't think was possible before. The change in the mind, so important, but so many people stop there. And then the shift in the body into being the person that we've been moving towards our whole lives. Absolutely essential. All that power is there and ready to manifest. The third step is so important and so essential because it actually changes the trajectory. It changes the way we move in the world. So it's bringing that change into our lives. And we have a special formula for this third stage. It's called notice, choose, and act. You might notice that something simple, like there's an older woman who's got too many groceries and she's going down the road. And you might choose to make a difference in that situation. And you might act by carrying those groceries to her doorstep. You might notice that the relationship with your mother is strained. And you might choose to shift that relationship. And you might act by having a conversation like, I love you. I know you've always been there for me. I don't want us to be separate. You might notice that there is trash all around your neighborhood. You might choose to make a difference in the environment where you live. And you might act by organizing a cleanup day. Notice, choose, and act is how you bring the changes that have come into your mind and then fully into your body into the world. We're going to use this 3-part formula and the formula for change over and over again. Because we don't want you to just be in a better mood and have better thoughts and a better outlook. We want your life to change. That's what you deserve and that's what you're here for. So that's the work we'll be doing, is using this 3-part process to shift your internal world. We'll be bringing it out into your life, and we'll be using notice, choose, and act to make specific differences. And one part of being in this community is we do acts of kindness. We go into orphanages, we go into townships, we go into homeless encampments, and we feed people, and we clothe people, and we give people shoes, and we teach them about safer sex, and we help people that are at risk. So many ways that this community reaches out and serves people where they are with what they need. You can be a part of that. You can start your own act of kindness. That will be part of what we do together, and that's part of being in this community. So very shortly, you'll be getting the first pre-course video, the video that comes before our first meeting. And I want to encourage you to, just as you've done in this video, participate fully and be ready for that first meeting, because we're going to dive right in. The reason we're meeting now is we don't want to waste a second of our 15 weeks together. So just a reminder, come to class, be on time, have camera on, have a quiet place, make sure you have a good data connection, do the work in the pre-course video, and try new things. Just be open to change. And part of being open to change is that you're willing to be uncomfortable. So I would say, don't worry that you're going to be uncomfortable. You're definitely going to be uncomfortable. And just get used to that, right? Like, if you're a runner or you're an athlete, every time you go to the next level, it hurts, it's hard, you're uncomfortable, you don't think you can do it, and then you have a breakthrough. And the same is true if you're transforming your life, if you're transforming the way you move in the world, if you're becoming the leader that you were always destined to be. You're going to be uncomfortable a lot. If you're not uncomfortable, whether you're in the gym or you're transforming into a leader, you should work a little harder. You should push yourself a little more. So getting used to that feeling of being uncomfortable and committing to give yourself fully to that process. Now, our team of graduate facilitators and me, we're going to be with you all the way. We're going to be cheering for you. We're going to be with you as we wrestle through these really hard parts, these really uncomfortable parts, these really painful parts, as we face things that we've run from. And your community engagement manager, the person in your area or country that brought you into the Dream Academy, they're going to be reaching out to you every week and checking in on you. And you can message them anytime. You can also message Ashley, who's our registrar, anytime you need support. You are going to be held through this process. So once again, welcome. You are officially on the journey. That pre-course video is on the way to you. Be looking out for it, and we can't wait to see you in our first in-person session. Big love.